And so when you look at like the 10,000 foot view of what's going on in the treatment industry today, it answers a lot of questions just looking at the situation. Like you look at reimbursement rates and how it's really hurting the private owner, right? You've got to charge insurance and then maybe collect money on the back end from the client as well in order to justify the services that you're getting. How did we end up in that situation? Well, BlackRock owns all these places. They're negotiating. This becomes a standardized rate. They're trying to argue that they're not going to negotiate this rate with this treatment center because the treatment center down the road's got a better rate, right? So now they're sending all their people over there. Little do they know that the same person that owns the treatment center owns the insurance company, right?
Wow.
So they don't care. They're paying themselves.
What a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Huge.
And so this is the 10,000 foot view that I'm like really trying to understand in order to take Harmony Grove in a direction that, whether it's unique or not, I know there's other people out there. There are pillars in the community. There are pillars in the industry that everybody looks at and says they do an amazing job. Clinically sound, business savvy, making money, and still serving people at a high level, right? They're out there. Everybody knows them. And people recognize these names across the nation. I'm talking about Jaywalkers, the Hazeldens, the Betty Fords, like the one in Arizona. What is it? Sierra.
Yeah.
You know,
Sierra
Tucson, right? People recognize these names. Why is it? It's because they have clinical acumen. They have clinical integrity. They've got their business is on point so that they can market and get client acquisition and like really, really pull people in and give them a quality product. But it costs money. It isn't a cheap venture to like get into treatment.
Right.
And it's a high risk business too, right? And so when you really look at what's going on and how we ended up here today, what really the thing that I point to the most is who's starting treatment centers? Addicts. Like people who enter recovery to start treatment centers. We have no business acumen. Like we don't really know what we're doing. We just know we have this vision. And if we can implement this vision, we can really change people, right? Or we
and our heart's in it too. That's where it starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like I tell people all the time, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I tell people all the time, if you're going to get clean and then not help people, just stay using because it's fucking pointless for you to, and
that's what's going to keep you clean.
Yeah.
I learned early in my recovery, you don't get to keep what you have unless you give it away.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the cliches that ultimately people thumb their nose at the cliches the most, but those are the things that work.
Right.
Right. Like the program is not in the rooms, it's in the book, but the cliches are definitely in the room and that's definitely what works. So it's interesting. Like I'm 36, right? I spent my entire adult life using drugs. I didn't go to college. I didn't get a formal education. My education was literally from prisons and the streets. And I know I'm not the only person that sees these deficiencies, but I feel like I'm one of the only people like trying to address them.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I'm just using your models to like guide me in where I'm going.